Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to tell you about girl number one. I think I left off with like saying that I had just found out that he was 14 and I was 5 months pregnant, and yeah, that's when I knew that he had another baby, and you know, there was like obviously another girl involved. So we'll just start off there at the beginning. We're gonna call this girl Amanda. So Amanda and Steven went to the same middle school. Steven moved to Addison in middle school, or like at the beginning of high school, and that's where I had met him. So I knew nothing about Amanda at all, nothing. All I knew was that when I had went to his house once, the house that his mom moved out of, they have like this, I think it's called an armoire, okay, whatever. It's basically like a glass dresser thing where like it's glass and you can open it up, and then people normally keep like their good china in there and stuff. So she kept like little things, you know, like little plates or like little things that people gave her, I assume, or that meant a lot to her. And also she put a lot of pictures in there, you know, family pictures and whatnot. So I just remember, you know, you go over to your boyfriend's house and you're like looking around like, oh, look at your baby picture, it's so cute, or look at this, or look at that, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? So I was kind of looking around, I remember, and this is when we were there for his birthday. And I remember going there for his birthday, and it was very awkward because he was trying to say that he was older than he was at this birthday, because he was giving his mom really weird looks for how many candles she put on the cake, I remember. And he was like, oh, you ran out? You ran out? Like, oh, that's okay, you know? And I remember his mom looking like, you know, like very confused, like, what are you talking about? And he was just like, oh, it's fine, you know. And like anytime the age would come up in a conversation, I remember him kind of like looking at her like she was crazy, and I just didn't really understand why, but I assumed he would tell me later. He ends up telling me later about how his mom got his birth certificate from Mexico, and how there was a mix-up at the office or something, and how his own mother didn't even know his birthday, and like all this stuff. So I'm over here thinking like, she's the worst mom in the world. Like, how do you not know your son's birthday? Like, how do you not have this together? So obviously it all dawned on me later that he was lying the entire time, and that she was confused because she didn't even know what he was talking about. Like, what do you mean I don't have enough candles? Moving on. In that armoire or dresser thingy, china holder, I saw a photo. There was a photo of a young girl and a little baby. The baby looked like it definitely was like a few months old, very small. But I assumed that the girl was like a cousin, you know, or maybe a long lost sister, or just a cousin from Mexico or somewhere, I don't know. And you know, I didn't question it, I didn't ask who's that, but in retrospect, probably should have, just to see what he would have gave me. We were like fairly new, this was literally a few months, so you know, I'm not like, who that, you know? I'm just kind of just like, oh, that's cute, oh, you know, whatever. So then I'm 5 months pregnant, and I'm sitting there contemplating my entire everything right now, and I'm very upset and sad at what's going on, the position that I'm currently in, and I really just don't know how I got here at this point. You know, I feel like I did everything fine. Like, I was honest. I'm, you know, just here pregnant. Like, I left my home for this kid so that we could all, you know, start the family together and stuff. And I just feel like every single turn I take, it's like there's something else I'm uncovering. There's something else. I ask, who is it? Who is this? You know, that you know, you're talking about this. I found out you have this baby, and like who is it? And I can't remember like how he exactly told me who it was, but it all started clicking. It literally all started clicking, and what he was telling me was basically like, it's not mine. She was known as a scandalous little girl in middle school, so that's definitely not my kid. I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove that that's not my kid, because our kid is gonna look nothing like that kid. I look at that kid and it looks nothing like me. Look at my baby pictures and look at that kid. Now that I can kind of, you know, say that when that child was a baby, like I didn't see the resemblance, like a very, very small baby. But as years passed, let me tell you, that is his twin. Moving on. I'm sitting here like, okay, this whole time I had no idea that there was this other girl and now there's a baby. Like, you don't want to take care of the baby because the baby's not yours and you don't know for sure, but no one wants to get a paternity test. No one wants to know. So I'm sitting here with a deadbeat and I'm pregnant. Fabulous, Whitney. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things that, you know, really sent me like in a emotional spiral, like downward, because I just feel like I just couldn't understand. As time went on, you know, I realized that the mom and the sister would drop hints. They would drop little hints, you know, and they didn't know that I knew at the time, but I did end up getting really close with his sister, and I kind of, you know, we had this talk, and she was like, yeah, like, that's his kid, like, he doesn't want anything to do with it, like, you know, we still talk to her, and then I would see her on Facebook, and they, you know, would still talk to her, and they would still meet up with her to go see the baby. And when I asked him, well, why don't you, like, I just don't understand, like, why are you not in his life until proven that you're not the father, or why are you not actively trying to see if you are so that you can, you know? But the fact of the matter is that he conceived that baby when he was 13. 14 when he met me, 15 when we had our son together. So at the age of 15, he already had 2 children. What should we call her? Leanne, Steven's sister. She played a huge role in me and Amanda's relationship. Leanne was very, very, she was very playing both sides. She was very much playing both sides, and she was very much like, Amanda thinks she's all that. Like, she thinks she's all that. And then she would turn around and be like talking smack about me to Amanda, which we didn't know this for a while, right? Because now I'm thinking, well, why is she mad? Why is Amanda so mad? Like, it wasn't me that came in between y'all. Like, he did his business with you, and then for some reason, they moved to a different town. I don't know, not saying anything, but that's just what happened. So it's just interesting. I had nothing to do with that. And keep in mind that between Amanda and me, there was another girl that he was seeing, like very briefly. And that was nothing serious, and then I had seen him at the football field. So I just want to throw that out there. This is not one of those things where it's like, how you get them is what they do, because that was not me, and I never did that. Now me and Amanda have this, like, you know, feeling in the air of each other, and, you know, all I want to do is just get to the bottom of it. Like, all I want to do is say, like, dude, go get your paternity test, go figure that out so that we can move accordingly. Like, obviously I am here now, so, like, we need to move accordingly, you know? The longer you wait, like, the worse it is for you in the end. Like, why wouldn't, I just never understood. There started being a lot of lies when it started to be like, oh, hey, like, my mom and my sister, they want to go pick up Amanda and the baby, and they're making me go do it instead. So, and I'd be like, okay, good. Like, we can all go. That's great. She can meet Isaac, you know? Like, they can meet Isaac. Like, this is great. And then he's like, no, like, they said I need to go and pick her up because it's far, and, like, you don't, it's just far, okay? Like, you don't, and I'm just like, not getting it, okay? I know what you're doing, But I was just like, okay, that's interesting. Like, why can't I go? What's going on? So that never ended up happening because I kept pressing the issue. Like, of course, that's great, let's go. But I don't understand why I couldn't go if they never had a relationship at that time. Like, he literally was dodging her in all ways, all shapes and forms. But I just found it interesting. So the family kept tormenting me because at this point, I am living with them. I am pregnant, I am living with them, and they have that girl's photos everywhere. Facebook, in the house, all over the place. What can I say? Because that is not my place. That is not my house. However, I feel like it was a form of disrespect because it's like, I'm literally here, pregnant. He's in a new relationship. Like, so, you know, I never said anything, but truly living in a house while you're pregnant and you're just constantly reminded of what was before, you know, with them, like, it's just like, it was terrible. It was literally so traumatizing, and like, it messed me up emotionally. I can't even lie, because I never felt comfortable in that space, and that was supposed to be. I literally moved out so that he could be closer to the baby in a way, and or like involved, and yet now I have to like deal with that, but no one seemed to care, you know. I just think I was painted as the one that like messed them up or like got in the way, when that was not it at all. A year goes by, we start having issues, and you know, I can see that a lot of issues were caused by Leanne, and I distance myself from Leanne. And I say, you know what, I'm gonna reach out to Amanda myself. Since Steven won't do it, deadbeat Steven, and Leanne, she's not helping. The mom, we're not even gonna give her a name, none of them were helping. And so I said, you know what, I have a half sister, and honestly, if my mom and her mom never figured out a way to get us to see each other with or without my dad, then where would that leave me and my sister? Like, literally, we had nothing to do with anything. So that's what I kept thinking in my mind. Like, I love my sister like no other, so I just want them to be able to have a relationship no matter what. Like, it's beyond me, it's beyond her, it's beyond him, you know? And if he's not gonna step up and do it, then you know what? Girl, let's go. Like, let's work it out. I reached out to her myself on Facebook, and I knew that like maybe whatever I would say was possibly gonna go back to Leanne, and they weren't gonna like it, and it was hard. When I tell you, trying to build a relationship with Amanda was difficult, it was difficult, because I look like I can't be trusted, right? Because Leanne definitely painted that picture that I am crazy and I am just nuts and whatever else, right? So really, I'm just trying to like let them know they're sibling. Like, it's not that serious. Like, I just, you know, but I get it. She's having all of this in her ear, and like, what else is she supposed to do? She doesn't know me. I try to befriend her and like just be nice. Like, him and I were going through a lot of issues, so I was like, you know what, I don't like his ass either. But that's how we started talking, was like things like that. And I remember Amanda was not in the best living situation. She did not have the best like financial situation, and she had no car. Like, she was hopping around from place to place and stuff, and just really on the struggle bus. And at this point, I was living with Steven, and he was working the entire time. I never worked. I never had to work. He paid for everything. I'll give him that. However, what do you think he was doing while he was at work so long? But anyways, so while Steven would be at work, I would set stuff up with Amanda, and I'd say, hey, is there any way, like after I befriended her, is there any way that I could pick up, we can call him Caesar. Is there any way, Amanda, that I can pick up Caesar and I can bring him over to my house? So at this time, Steven and I lived in Villa Park in a brand new like apartment. It was really nice. I was like, you know what, this is the perfect time. Like, I'm just gonna pick him up and let her start, you know, to trust me that I'm like safe, I'm okay, like, you know, I just want them to have a relationship. And she agreed. So literally, I drive my little self all the way to the city, and I, you know, go in there and I say hi and I meet her dad, and then I was like, okay, let's go, Caesar, like, let's go in the car. And then, you know, he gets to meet his baby brother Isaac, and we go back to the apartment and they're playing, and I'm sending her videos, and then Steven comes back from work and they're playing, and he's like, this is mad awkward, like, I don't really know, like, I don't know what to say to that kid. And at that point, I literally should have like just left. Like, I mean, I should have left a long time ago, but at this point I should have left, because you're looking at him which at this point he looks literally like Isaac, like identical to Isaac, the same. Like, I'm not even kidding you, the same, okay? And you're looking at him and saying, I don't know what to do with this kid. I don't know what to say to this kid. I don't know what I should be. What? And I go, look, calm down. I know it's weird. I know it's difficult because you have not been around. However, you gotta try. Like, he's a kid. Like, he's gonna just, like, you give him a little love, you know, and it's like, that's all they want from you. That's all they want. So, like, just freaking try. Go roll the ball with him, you know? Like, it ain't that hard. They're in the living room and he starts, like, you know, playing. They were all playing with the ball. You know, they're playing with each other, and Caesar, you know, it looks like he's really getting himself, like, attached to the idea of having a brother and even a father in his life. Because at the end of the day, before I went to go take Caesar home, he was saying, like, dad. He was calling him dad and stuff. And that was so cute to me because I was just like, yes, like, this is what it should be. Like, yes, like, you should know me and the new baby, and you guys, you know, have a relationship, and this is so cool, and now your mom's trusting me so I can, like, pick you up, and, like, it's gonna be so cool, you know? Because I worked hard for this, okay? I was just like, yo, this is sick. Like, here we go. I drop off Caesar and I'm texting her and I'm like, oh my god, it went great. Like, and she's like, I'm so happy. And I let her know, you know, she wanted to know, like, how their relationship was. Like, so what was it like when he was there? How was he talking to him? How was, you know, and I completely understand. So I went ahead and I would tell her everything, and everything was all good for a while. But then Amanda had got word, I'm assuming from his family, that he really didn't want anything still to do, or maybe he was supposed to go to a birthday of his. There was something that happened that he did not show up. He did not come through for him, for Caesar. So then she was just like, that's it. Like, yeah, he faked it. Like, you know, she was really just like, look, like, I can't do this. Like, here you go, and then no more, here you go, and then, you know, like, you're in the picture, you're not, like, type of thing. And I was like, God, I tried so hard to help you, bro. Like, what is wrong with you? And you know, sorry, I keep freaking stuttering because this topic is very sensitive to me because, again, of my sister. So it's just like, and this involves my child as well, you know? And it's not so much that I was trying to get him to have a relationship with his son. It was more making sure that my son can still have a relationship with his brother, you know? So anyway, it wasn't working out. He literally wanted nothing to do with Caesar, and I just could never understand it. So I attempted to still be cool with Amanda throughout the years, but every so often, Leanne made sure that that wasn't okay. She almost wanted us separate because I feel like the entire time I was never fully accepted, and you'd never see pictures of me or my son at the time because I only had him at that time. And shortly after then, he told me that he wanted another baby, so then we had my daughter. So I had never seen photos, you know, of me and my son there, or my son, or, you know, whatever, like it. So I just never felt fully accepted by them, and I always felt like they preferred her, which is okay, but like the disrespect, you know, like to my face is just kind of like ugly, you know? But because I would never do that to somebody. Like, I would never do that to somebody. But again, we're different people, so you can have that. So throughout the years, I really tried to maintain my relationship with Amanda, sometimes falling off because she would move here or there, or have, you know, a lot of life issues or hurdles that she would go through. But I do know that, you know, I would drive to wherever she was. So I've met her mother before. I've had conversations with her mom. I really think she's cool. I know her brother. Like, I know her family to a degree. You know, like, I've met them a few times and stuff like that because I went to go take my son and my daughter to wherever she's at. Because, again, it's always me chasing that relationship for them. So, you know, there's been many times where I'm driving out in the middle of nowhere with my little hoopty because I know that that's what I would have wanted my mom to do. In the next video, I want to tell you guys about girl number 2. Yes, girl number 2. So the story goes on. 2 kids at 15 is just the beginning. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.